to our F3 podcast, where we discuss all things pertaining to faith, family, and finances. Again, we got a good one for you today. We are your hosts. I am Dr. Lionel M. Blair Sr. I'm sitting next to my gorgeous, lovely, perfect wife. Perfect in all her ways. Amen. She just like God. Perfect in all her ways. Bless Jesus. Dr. Jasmine Blair. Welcome again. So, your children. Okay, we're going to talk about your kids.
Yes, indeed. Your children reflect you, but they are not you. Thank you for that introduction. Definitely make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Click the notification bell so you can be notified when we have our next episode premiering live. If you didn't catch our last episode, we finished up discussing spiritual parenting. Yes. We talked about some of the wounds, and we really got into some of the deeper topics. So definitely everybody's been loving it. It's a topic we definitely plan to revisit throughout this season of the F3 podcast. But if you missed it, we'll go ahead and drop the link so you can check that out. So today we are going to talk about your children. We're going to get into the family dynamic. Right? Because a lot of people, especially a lot of young adults, they find that they're in this battle with their parents, trying to make them into something that they're not, or disappointed because they aspire to be something that they don't, or is an embarrassment or a disappointment to the family, or whatever it may be. So we're going to talk about that today. You know, your children reflect you, but they are not you. And I think it's important to recognize, and you see fathers and mothers do this, but I think mothers are guilty of doing this a little bit more.
Yeah.
Trying to make their children into something and try to conform them to be something or somebody that they're not. You know, I remember my earlier years in college, right? And I was talking to somebody and, you know, everybody's like, oh, what's your major? You know, what are you here for, right? Like, what are you doing? What do you plan to do with the next 4 years of your life? And you'll have somebody say, oh, you know, I'm majoring in, you know, biological sciences. And I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Is that what you want to do? Well, no, but if I major in something else, my parents won't pay for school. See, that's sad. And I heard that a lot. And so you have a lot of these people who are unhappy in life because they're trying to be something, somebody, achieve something to appease their parents, because maybe they come from a long line of doctors or lawyers or scientists or whatever. And that's great. But maybe you have a gift and a calling in being an artist, or being a dentist, or being a politician, or, you know, working in film and media. Maybe you don't want to be a doctor or a microbiologist.
Right.
And so a lot of parents take that personally, like they are being rejected as a parent. And I think it's important to really recognize like where this comes from. So I'm going to kick this over to you. Why do you think people do that?
Well, some people, they feel the deep need to always be in control. And because a lot of times they were not in control in their former years, they try to be in control in their latter years.
Wow.
So that stuff extends to their children. So when they feel like they're losing a grip on their children, they like to impose certain things, on their children. I've met so many controlling parents, and I've seen it manifest in so many different ways. And some people, you know, they want to carry they want to carry on a family legacy, and I get it, but there's different ways to carry on a family legacy. Okay, maybe God don't want you know, your son to carry on the family business, but you could have a legacy of successful children. You see that? It's all depending on how you see it. Okay. And, you know, I found that, you know, a lot of people, they want people to be in their footsteps, you know, and you know, it's the pride of a father.
Yeah.
You know, it's the pride of a parent. You know, my son, my daughter is going in the same field as I am.
Are going to the same college that we all have gone to for the last 125 years.
Yeah, you know, me, I don't be caring about none of that kind of stuff. You know, I don't be caring. You know, just as long as you make something decent of yourself.
That's right.
And that should matter, you know, because every child is different. So you can't expect every child to be like you. that just like we said about spiritual parenting, it's like it's about natural parenting and vice versa.
That's right.
Your children will have your features, but they may not have your assignment. They may not have your level of academia, or they may not have your aspirations.
That's right.
Or anything like that. That's okay. It's just like, okay, like my son, our son, he's showing signs of being a nerd. Okay, I'm going to nurture his inner nerd. Okay, and y'all make nerds to be a bad thing, but them nerds make money. Bless the Lord. Okay, so he gonna be able to provide for his family. Okay,
absolutely.
So I feel his internet. My son is not into sports.
No.
Okay, he's not into sport, and that don't make him a soft boy either. You understand what I'm saying? Okay.
He is caring though. He cares
caring
about the homeless and the hungry of the world.
Yeah, he does, and LJ's caring. Now Priscilla, on the other hand, our daughter, she's the polar opposite. Okay, this child look like she might be in sports or something. Okay, we got to put her in gymnastics, boxing, karate, something. Okay, because she likes to be active, flip around. The girl got no fear. She'll jump off of anything. LJ is chill. LJ is chill. So can you imagine if I try to put them both in something that I aspired to be, that I either accomplished or wish I could have accomplished?
Yeah, could you imagine if you tried to make him play football?
No,
he wouldn't like that too well.
He wouldn't like that. Okay, but you buy him a chessboard or something like that. Okay, LJ will love it. It's your children have their own individual uniqueness. They can have your features, they can have some of your characteristics, but you have to be wise enough to develop them in their own uniqueness, because they have their own have them. Yeah, they'll have some of your traits there, but they have their own personality. You understand? And you have to allow. You have to learn how to raise your child as an individual.
Yes.
As an individual. Okay. And stop letting society pressure you into how to raise your child. Stop letting family members pressure you on to how to raise. I don't listen to none of my family when they got something to say about my child. Somebody had to correct them, like, this is my son. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. My wife and I, we know what we're doing. You don't have to tell me, well, he need this, he need that. That ain't for you to determine. You have no say in this. This is my son.
And you don't pay me no child support.
Right. Well, I had kids. I don't care. You're not parenting in this generation. You parented 2 generations before me. All right. So parenting is different today than it was back then. You used to be able to let your children just roam around in the streets and stuff like that. When I was coming up, we used to could walk the streets, and stuff like that.
Send your child to the corner store with a note and some money, and then come back.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You can't do that today. They snatching up kids.
Exactly.
You understand?
In broad daylight from the parents.
Yeah, it used to be at night, but now they snatch them up in daylight, and a lot of times they snatch them from the mother's arms. Okay, so that's why you got to be with your. You got to find other things for your kids to do.
Yeah,
that's active. You understand? And then you got certain hot spots more than others. So it is what it is. So the times are different. So you cannot say, well, this is how we grew up, and this is how we it's a different age. So you have to be wise enough to understand this, and also you have to learn to raise your children to be individuals in this society, and to teach them how to not just survive but to thrive in today's society and economy. All right. So, you can't, when parents do this kind of thing, you cripple your children in the long run. How many parents have forced their kids to go to school to get a major in something that they're not even in a field they're not even working in today? Or how many children went to school because, okay, this is the family tradition, this is the family business, and they're not even in that industry. You understand? If I went to school to be a police officer, Okay, and that's in my line. But my son wants to go be a chef. Guess what? He go be a chef.
That's right.
Go be a chef. That's what you want to do. As long as you stick to it. Whatever you go to school for, all I ask is that you stick to it. All I ask is that you pursue a career in that field. But see, a lot of y'all don't care. You're more concerned with the image.
Yes.
You trying to impress a bunch of people that probably don't really care too much about you anyway. Or you're trying to probably trying to impress a bunch of people, okay, because you feel rejected from them people.
And let's talk about that right there. We got to deal with that image piece.
Oh,
because
God.
see, one of the reoccurring things that comes up when we do these family topics is the image, trying to impress, whether it's your parents, your brother, your sister, or, you know, they had 3 kids that went to this college, or they had 4 that all became neurosurgeons. We've got to deal with this image. Why is the image of people who you don't really like and don't hardly talk to and probably never will invite to your house? Why is there the image that they have exalted higher than the image that God has? You know, that's what we got to deal with. When did you become so fixated on the approval of relatives to the point that you will push and damage your child for them to be out here being you know, we talked about how hurt people, for them to be a damaged adult running around hurting other people because you hurt them just so you can impress a relative you don't like, it who you don't like anyway.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I guess because I stopped caring early about that kind of stuff. You know, I don't feel the need to impress nobody. You know, I don't feel the need to try to convince anybody of anything. Matter of fact, I'm very secretive, you know, about my business with my family. You know, because a lot of times, you know, when you come around, they ask you what you're doing because in their mind, it's like a piss contest.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. What you doing? Where you working? What's your position? Are you a manager, supervisor? How much you making?
Right. You know. And I remember, you know, I was my family's biggest disappointment. I've always been the black sheep, especially, you know, mama's side. But I always been like the black sheep. Oh yeah, see, I can talk about it like this because you know I don't care. You know, I don't care, and I'm pretty sure some of them watch me. You know, whatever. You know the truth. So, with that being said, you know, I was, I was one of the biggest disappointments in the family. You know, I dropped out of high school. You know, I've been locked up. You know, I done did drugs. Some of them did too, but theirs was just more sophisticated and in secret. I mean, I'm just telling the truth. You know, everybody judge me. You know, everybody judge me. You know, and I'm just like, okay,
you gotta point the finger.
You point the finger,
but they ain't talking about me.
But cousin so and so still a crackhead. So cousin so and so calling me, asking me for money. You don't know that though. You see what I'm saying? So with the family stuff, you know, I have felt the need to no longer try to impress anybody. The only one I want to impress is God. Number one, I gotta impress you.
All right, now let's get back to the topic.
But I'm saying all this to make a point. I ain't trying to bash my family. I'm just saying. But truth is truth. You know. But I'm saying this to make a point that you cannot force someone to fit in a mold they were not made for. Okay. And a lot of times you have the black sheep of the family because they refuse to go the route that the family's going. You know, I remember one time somebody told me, you don't know one of the family that ever went to jail. You don't know one of the family that ever dropped out. You don't know one of the family that, well, look at me now. Look at me now, bless God. Look at me now. You understand? Because I didn't go your route, I ended up becoming better.
Woo!
You understand? And a lot of times y'all run people off trying to make them into something that God never intended them to be.
Come on now.
You run people off. And so then instead of your guidance, they have to navigate on their own apart from you and your criticism. Okay. And they make mistakes along the way. You understand? They make mistakes along the way. Okay. Maybe maybe they couldn't, maybe they're not called to go to college to be psychologists. Maybe they're called to be an entrepreneur. Maybe they're called to be a musician. Maybe God destined that they're gonna get paid for that. You see, well, you're gonna throw your life away. No, no, no. I remember one time, and this was public too. Dwayne the Rock Johnson. He was doing football, right? And then they cut him, right? They cut him. I think this might have been college football or something like that. They cut it, and then they called him back, and they was like, yeah, I know we cut you, but we would like you to come, tomorrow and try it out. He was like, I'll think about it. And he said that he told his dad, I don't think I'm gonna go. And his dad was like, you're throwing it all away. He was like, I think I want to get into the business, the wrestling business, because his dad was a wrestler and his grandfather on the other side, on his mother's side, was a wrestler too. So then he goes into wrestling, and guess what? He becomes one of the biggest wrestlers out there. And that positioned him, to become a Hollywood star now, because you done became one of the top names in wrestling, and now you're acting. And matter of fact, I think one time he was one of the highest paid actors out there.
That's true.
You understand? So he's launched several businesses since then, and all of that kind of stuff. Can you imagine if he would have been playing football? Can you imagine if he would have been what his dad wanted him to be? See, you have to ask God for wisdom on how to lead your children, because they may reflect you.
Come on now.
But they not you.
Exactly.
But they're not you.
And I think the other side of that too is a lot of parents try to shape and mold their children after what they wish they could have been. And so a lot of the frustration and the pushback with your child is not necessarily that they're doing anything wrong. It's because you don't get to live out your own self-centered narcissistic dream of seeing your child be everything that you wish that you could have been.
Right.
That's usually what the fight is. Outside of, this image, this long line of whatever in the family that we're going to keep going, it becomes a more personal thing that it shouldn't be. It's a heart issue. Well, I didn't get to do this. I didn't get to go to school and be this. Now you have a chance. And so you get mad at them for not being what you never got a chance to be, instead of you being what you should have been in the first place. Why does your child have to live their life to appease you? And this is where you have to, and we're talking about a child who is teenager, coming of age, into young adult, even well into adulthood. We get to this place as parents where if you don't let go, you start to live vicariously through your child. It's an unhealthy attachment. You're supposed to be one with your spouse, not with your child, and have your child do everything that you wish you could have been, and y'all make all these decisions together. At some point, you need to raise your child to be strong enough to be independent of you. Because if you don't, you will cripple them, and they will spend their life with these unhealthy attachments, looking for somebody to fill that place that you held, or they will end up being a societal reject and never not know how to make anything of themselves. They'll stay in the same place. So at what point are you going to raise them to be independent of you, to make decisions outside of you, to know how to reason outside of you, and to decide, you know what, this is what I'm good at. This is what my strengths are. You should be starting this at an early age. But some of you listening, your child may already be a teenager, and it may be a little too late for you to go back and kind of find their gifts there. But at least empower them, help them identify where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are, and help them and guide them and navigate them as they make their own decisions, instead of you making the decisions for them. Because I'm going to tell you the true test in how independent you've raised your child to be is they're going to make decisions that you don't like. They're going to make decisions that you don't agree with. But being a healthy, supportive parent says, I don't agree with everything that you've decided to do, but I still love you. You ever see people cut their children off? And we've made a whole episode about when to cut a relative off. We're not talking about that stuff. We're talking about cutting people off altogether just because you don't like the decisions they make. That is toxic and that is controlling. If you cut your child off because they make a decision that you don't like or don't agree with, you're the problem. You have a heartfelt issue. That means you had a selfish personal investment of trying to live through them and make sure and twist and turn their life and navigate it to get what you wanted to get out of it.
You know, that reminds me, I know of a woman who God called her to ministry, but she's connected to a very rich family. So, you know, her being called to ministry, she felt called to ministry full time. That means I ain't gonna work the family business. And they said her family told her, if you do this, we will disinherit you. So here it is. She got multi-millionaire mothers and fathers. And here it is. She has access. She don't have access to none of that wealth, none of that inheritance because she chose to work for God.
It's sad.
It's sad.
And it's highly controlling.
It's sad.
You should be glad that somebody wants to give back and do well and help other people and see them improve their lives. But instead you cut them off because it doesn't benefit you directly. So it really brings us to a place of looking at the motives of why we make these decisions.
Yeah.
You know, the reality of it is, you know, your child may not always make the decisions that you want them to make for their life. Not just career wise, but they may make, like, can we be honest? They might make some stupid choices. That's all right. Because see, that's the period of life I call where you're out there getting your testimony. You're making stupid choices. You're not making the best choices. But here's where your security is as a parent. And I said this on another episode. I'm going to say it again. If you raise them right and you instill the word in them, they won't depart from it. They might stray a little bit, but they'll eventually work it out and get back on the path that they're supposed to be on. But you have to let them go. Holding your child super tight is not going to prevent them from going out here and making certain choices. What's going to prevent them is their own logic, their own decision making, their own morals, and the inner voice that they have in their relationship with God. And they may go through a period where they may not have one. But if you have done everything that you're supposed to do in a godly manner, and you haven't been controlling, you haven't been toxic, you haven't been narcissistic, you haven't been trying to vicariously live through them for personal gain and twist and control the decisions that they make for their life, so you can see them have the outcome and live the life that you always wanted, but you were too afraid, scared, rejected, and wounded to actually live for yourself, then they'll be all right. But it comes down to you really letting them go. You've got to love them enough to draw back. Let them stumble a little bit. Let them find them wings. Let them exercise their thinking. Give them the freedom and love and respect to make choices for themselves, even if they make stupid ones. That's how you know that you have grown from raising your child as a child to respecting them as an adult.
Come on.
And you know, and especially in a lot of Black families, that's a cuss word. Well, you ain't grown until you got this, and this. Okay, but that's going to require you to back up and allow them to spread their wings and soar until they can acquire this, and this. Grown is the period of acquisition of all of those things.
First of all, if laws say I'm legally grown, I'm legally grown.
Right.
You know, I remember one time there was this, I think the young man was 19. He wanted to come to our church. But he was living with his aunt. And she had called us. I just want you to know that so-and-so already got a church home. You know, because, I mean, he was like 18, 19.
Yeah,
it was his last year in high school, right? I think he started late. So, last year in high school, but this guy's a legal adult. You see what I'm saying? Last year of high school, and you sit up here telling this man that he can't go to nobody's church but yours because he live in your house.
You didn't call me and ask me for permission.
You didn't call me and ask me for permission. I said, well, he's an adult. I don't need your permission if he's a legal adult. You see what I'm saying? I said, you ought to be glad the man wants to go to church.
That part. Hello. Woohoo! Is anybody home?
You know, he don't want to go to your church, you know, and I'm not going to argue with you about a grown man.
That part.
And that's the part that made them. See, we got so many horror stories we can tell y'all.
Yeah,
about
we have to say that for a bonus episode and get some hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Sit back and tell some of these stories.
Yeah, for real. It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Sit in front of our fireplace.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea because I mean, we can go for days. We got stories for days, y'all. Just about the things that we've seen in ministry, dealing with people, and especially dealing with these helicopter parents and guardians, micromanaging their adult children's lives.
It's sick. It really is. So the thing that I definitely want to emphasize here is that you've got to deal with your own wounds of what you didn't do, what you didn't become, what you didn't accomplish. Whether it was because you were limited in your finances at that time, you just didn't have the know-how at that time. You know, maybe you became a parent before you expected to. Maybe your parents got divorced, or, you know, you went to the military, you went to jail, you was on drugs. Whatever your story is for why you did not become what you were supposed to come, that you feel the need to vicariously live through your child. Understand there's no time limit or age on success. Okay, let me speak to that broken place and that wounded place. There's no time limit or age on success. It is never too late for you to start over. It's never too late for you to go back to school. Now, I will say, and this is my opinion, if you're going to go back to school, start with community college or something small. Don't be breaking the bank trying to go back to school. Yes, I believe in school. I love school, but I think some people go overboard and put themselves in a bunch of financial bondage that they don't need to. It's never too late to go back to school. It's never too late to change careers. It's never too late to pick up a trade. It's never too late to get certified. It's never too late to start acting. It's never too late to get a trade. It is never too late for you to become what you should have been. But you cannot get the fulfillment that you've been looking for. You cannot heal that broken place that you've had all of these years by trying to force your child in a box of misery to be what you want it to be.
Come on.
It's not their fault. All right? It is your fault. It's your fault that you're not where you're supposed to be, and trying to force them to take on the career, to take on the type of lifestyle that you want them to have is not going to make you feel any better, because at the end of the day, they're going to be the ones living the life, not you. And you're still going to be in the same place, miserable, wounded, trying to live vicariously through your child, calling their phone every day. Well, how's work? How's this? How's that? Getting on their nerves because you're acting like a groupie, wanting to hear the details of this life that they're living that you wish you would have had for yourself. How about you step back up off of your child and start to shift your life?
I've heard of wives having issues with their husbands because they mama call every day. 2-3 times a day.
No.
Like they can't give room.
Not every day.
Every day.
Not every day. No, not every day.
You know, you'll be surprised. We've heard that too. You know, I've heard of people's mamas pulling them out of churches and everything else. You know, one guy that was at our church, he had a whole divine encounter about coming in. Did he let his mama prophesy him out?
Well, my mama said, Mike, how old are you? My mama said.
And then his mama, I guess God whooped her butt, and she had to end up coming back apologizing to us.
Especially after she got healed. But anyway.
Yeah.
My mama said, Mama.
Like the water boy. My mama said. The water boy. Got too many water boys out here.
Yeah, you can't
my mama.
You can't be 40 hollering about my mama said. That don't work. That don't work. Not in that sense.
And you got some dads out there like that too.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're mainly like that about their sons, but sometimes they like that about their daughters too.
Yeah.
You know, following my footsteps, you know, I'm a politician, so you become one. That may not be my thing. I might be a rocket scientist, or I might be, I might be a pastor.
Yeah, I might be a creator. I might be an author. I might be a consultant. There are so many other things out here.
Yeah, I might be a singer, a rapper,
A plumber,
a, pl-
electrician.
a plumber. At least I can. At least I had the skills. I can own my own business.
Yeah.
You know, you never know. You never know. So I want to encourage y'all with this. Embrace your individuality.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to do some soul searching.
Mm-hmm.
To really discover what it is that God put in me that I long to do the most.
That's good.
Because a lot of times what you're called to be is already in you.
Mm-hmm.
Is already in you. God designed it for you. It's just that, see, we think we got to get a prophetic word about everything, but a lot of times your prophecy is already in you. You just got to come into discovery of what it is. And a lot of time when you search yourself, you see the things that you're most passionate about, your likes and dislikes. All of these things are clues to your destiny. That's a whole different teaching. But I will say this: embrace whatever that is. Okay, embrace whatever that is. Become learned in that field. If you have to go to school, go. But learn a trade.
Build yourself to a place where when you go to school, you can go to school debt free.
Yeah, because school is just another debt trap. But some things you have to go to school for. Like you want to become a lawyer, you have to go to school for that.
You got to go to school, and there's some good stuff out there.
But if not, go to a community college if you can, or
go
learn
online.
a trade if you can. Okay, but whatever your path is, if you gotta work all that out.
Mm-hmm.
But stay true. There's a saying, and stay true to yourself.
Yes, that's good.
And I believe in that wholeheartedly. You have to stay true to who you are. Yes, it's good to push yourself beyond certain limitations, but you ain't gonna be able to do everything.
Yeah.
You can be able to do everything. God allows us to have limitations on purpose so that way we can learn to depend and work with others. And it keeps us humble at the end of the day. So don't even if you discover your limitations and you find yourself you can't defy your limitations, that means that God wants you to be humble in that area and learn to accept help and stuff like that. So again, stay true to yourself. Don't let nobody pressure you into I don't care who they are. And you have to get over not wanting to disappoint mommy and daddy. I'm sorry.
Oh well.
You're gonna have to, some people, in order for you to do what God's called you to do, you're gonna have to disappoint them. Okay, so that means daddy and mommy is going to be disappointed. Okay, but when the results come in, they may not be disappointed with your life after a while, even though they're disappointed with your actions. I find that the same people that are disappointed with us, they come with their handout later. They come with their handout. Okay, no, like what you got your handout for? You didn't believe in me.
That part.
You constantly badgered me about the decision I was making, and now all of a sudden you want I'm so proud of you.
No.
I'm so proud of you. Yeah, but you dog me out and talk trash about me when I was in the developmental stage. Oh yeah, that's how people do. I remember there was some relatives, it was questioning my decisions and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's not favorable. It's not what you would do, but I'm not running the streets, and then all of a sudden when I stopped kind of like talking to them, I feel rejected.
Well, should have kept your mouth shut off my decisions.
Yeah, you should have left me alone. I love you, but you should have. I love you, but you should have left me alone. And you shouldn't have said nothing negative about me.
Exactly.
You don't have to agree, but you got to talk about me.
Ooh, that part.
You don't have to agree, but do you really got to talk about me?
I just wish these families, can you love people past your agreement with them?
Oh, boy.
Like, can we really walk in real love? You love people till you disagree with them. Then all of a sudden your heart changed. You're nasty. You cut them off. Can you love your children even when they make decisions that you don't agree with? I'm not saying support the stupidity. Right. I'm just saying love the person.
Yeah. This is how I've grown not to care. What people say. You disappointed me now. I'm gonna really disappoint you 5 years from now.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Now my bank account ain't gonna disappoint. All right. But
it'll disappoint them because you ain't giving them nothing.
Show ain't not one penny, not one drip drop, nothing. My money for the kingdom. But anyway, so again, you parents, and aunties and cousins and them, who think they got a voice, who think they have the right to say something.
Stepdaddies, stepmamas.
Yeah. Some of y'all think y'all have a right to say something in the question and all this other stuff. You don't have no right. I'm quick to tell you don't got no right. Okay. I'm quick to tell you don't have a right to ask me any kind of questions about my life.
That's it.
You're not involved in it. I haven't heard from you in God knows how long. You're not involved in my life. I
can count on one hand how many times I've seen you up until this point in my life.
Yeah, shut your mouth. We've had to tell some folks too, like, shut up. Shut up. I don't care how old you are. Shut up. I don't care how young you are. Shut up. Like, you being disrespectful. No, you're being disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't answer to you. You don't pay my bills.
That's it.
I don't need your money. I don't need your help. I don't need none of that. Some of y'all think, oh, this is disrespectful. That's bitter. No. It ain't bitter. It's just straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
It's just straightforward. Some of these aunts and uncles and cousins, you need to tell them, shut up. You have no right. Shut up. I'm just saying. Well, you need to do this. I got this. This is my life.
That's it.
I got this. You ain't been involved in all this other time in my life. So no, you wasn't there when I struggled. You wasn't there when you wasn't there when I struggled. You wasn't there when I overcame.
That's right.
All you had to say was gossip.
Yes.
You didn't volunteer to step in to help. You didn't even call me and give me any kind of encouraging words or anything like that. So shut up.
That's it.
Shut up. You wasn't there for the process, so you ain't gonna be there for the promise. I still love you. I might show up to the family cookout. I might. Just don't ask me for the money. Now, if I'm hiring, I might be able to give you a job. You can come work for me, maybe. But see, then it ain't. I ain't just cousin Lionel. I ain't nephew. Okay, I'm your boss. I'm your boss. So you address me by Dr. Blair, Mr. Blair,
sir.
See.
He done got brand new on us all of a sudden.
Or you come to my church, you dress me as apostle, like everybody else.
I don't know who he think he is.
And no, you can't just come knock on my office door because my adjutants will drag you out. I don't care who you. I don't care if you cousin. I don't care if you auntie, uncle, whatever.
Have a blessed certified seat.
Okay, my adjutant's gonna get you together. The apostle is not. You can only come. You can only come by appointment only in his office. That's my cousin. That's my that. No. Okay, this is how we do things here. Okay. Well, I got his phone number. Well, you might need to call him. And guess what? When you call me, I'm gonna tell you, it's whatever my adjutant say.
Not that one, the other one.
Yeah. Because
they ain't gonna have that number. They ain't gonna have that number.
Most of y'all got this, okay, but very few of y'all got this. Bless the Lord. Bless the Lord. Okay, think about getting the third one. All right. Might need a third one because I need to filter this one out a little bit more. But anyway, God is good.
You have any closing remarks for this episode?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Listen, in order to be successful in the vein that God called you to, you're gonna have to be willing to disappoint some people.
Right.
And if you are a parent and you want your son to succeed you, whether it's in a family business or church or whatever, And that's a whole nother episode too, because y'all be trying to pass y'all church to y'all kids. Okay, but um if you are a parent and you're looking for your child to succeed you, it may or may not be. And you have to be okay, with whatever it is that God decides. You can't make people into who you want them to be and
That's
not
right.
flow in witchcraft. Okay.
Ooh, that was a good one.
See, some of y'all are witches and warlocks by manipulation. Okay. By manipulation. And all that reverse psychology kind of stuff. So you have to allow people to come into who God called them to be. All right. And if you really want a successor, God will give you a successor.
Yeah.
Okay, it may not be that child, maybe another child, or maybe somebody else's child that God can have you to take on as your child.
And you have to be all right with that.
And you have to be okay with that.
But I want to encourage you, parents, make sure you go back and dig up your own wounds. It's not too late to change careers. It's not too late. As you have breath in your body, you still have a chance to answer the call and assignment that is on your life. So I want to encourage you, don't keep sitting on it because you feel like you're old and washed up and you don't have no time left. Come on now. You have time to go on and to achieve and be everything God has called you to be. Stop trying to put the burden on your child that God has placed on your life. Go back to school, go study, get that trade, shake off those running shoes, whatever it is that you've got to do to get that fulfillment so you can be happy with your child living the life being who God has called them to be, because you are first content with who you're supposed to be. So I want to thank you guys for joining us on this episode of the F3 podcast. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Check out our links and find out how you can start your journey to financial freedom. Until the next time, goodbye.
Signing off.